Hey everybody, how's it going? So in today's video, I'm going to be looking at an engine that I've had since last summer, if you can believe that. I never did an unboxing of it because I didn't have a railway at the time. Well, I did, but I would mostly run things on my desk, and I just run trains back and forth, and I really wanted this type of engine, but I'll get into that sort of detail in just a minute. So what I have here is the Broadway Limited Blue Line version of the Pennsylvania Railroad J1. Like I said, I never did an unboxing of it for obvious reasons. So you're going to be seeing it in an unboxing like this. Here is the product code. You can't see it because it's blurry. As you can see, this is PRR-J12104, number 6432, Pennsylvania J1. These will be the DCC ready version of the Broadway Limited Blue Line series, but yeah, this one is already DCC fitted. And I got this model because I am a huge fan of the Pennsylvania Railroad, and I'm also a really huge fan of the J1. And I really wanted a J1 at the time, and there wasn't really any other J1s for sale, minus a couple Blue Line models at the time. And I think I paid too much for this, but we will get to that in just a minute. So let's get to the unboxing right now. So here is the unboxing, and you can see the blanking chip right here that this would have originally came with, but that is not fitted to the engine. The decoder is in the tender. I will say this though, the performance on this thing sucks. It absolutely sucks. I'll get to that in just a second, but right now let's get the engine out. Now, where do I grab you from? Tight. Also, I'm in a tight space, which is not really ideal. There we go. Just about got it out. So here is a close look of the Pennsylvania Railroad J1, number 6432. Like I said, the performance on this thing is not so great, and now I'll give you a reason why. I don't know if it was something wrong with the wheels or what. At least it's a really nice decorative model, you're not gonna lie. Here's the cab interior. You can just about see it in there. It's not painted or anything, but oh well. It's typical of these Broadway Limited engines. But yeah. And there's a front. The front's always my favorite on the J1s or any Pennsylvania Railroad locomotive for that matter. That's pretty much why I love the Pennsylvania Railroads, because their designs of their engines from the Juniata shops is just so unique. I just love them, you know. It's just so cool. And this is also my first ever locomotive with 10 driving wheels, oddly enough, so there's that. Now let's have a look at the tender. I'll set the locomotive aside for now. So like I said, the DCC decoder is in the tender, or DCC socket. And there you go, here's a close-up look of the tender. It's a coast-to-coast tender, which is really nice. I always love those tenders from the Pennsylvania Railroad. 4 axles in each truck, which is good. And the weird thing about it is I have absolutely no idea how to open this tender up. I tried everything I can think of, from unscrewing this little guy right here to disconnecting the trucks to everything. I cannot get the tender off. I have no idea how to do it. Whatever decoder is in here, I cannot tell you, but it does come with a blanket chip, and I kind of want to run this on DC for some reason. Don't ask me why. And what's oddly enough, whenever I would run this thing on DCC, and it said ready to run with sound, it doesn't have sound. Well, it does, but I don't think I can play it, unless if I'm on analog, but I tried it before and just wouldn't cooperate. But yeah, it's a coast-to-coast tender, and it's a pretty big tender if it was staying focus. But yeah, not a bad tender, not a bad locomotive. It's just the performance, like I keep saying, is terrible. And let's look at the accessories, and I'll show you what I mean by performance. So as for the accessories, you have the blanking chip here, just like I mentioned earlier. and there's one set of driving wheels. I believe this one's for, yeah, I think this one is for like the where the valve gear would be, sort of stuff, so that's really handy. In here we have another set of driving wheels, or this one maybe for the valve gear, I can't really tell, but I think this thing would also come with traction tires, but I did use one set on one of my other engines, and I don't think it was a good idea because the traction tires that this thing came with is pretty thick. Here's the lug nut for the wheels, and it looks like there's another set of blanking chips in here and another blanking socket. But yeah, unless this is a decoder, is it? Not sure. Unless it may be a DCC chip. I can never tell with these things, but yeah, that's all the stuff that it came with. Well, not all these stuff that it came with. There's still more stuff in here. Here's the owner's manual, explosive diagram. I even read through this to try out how to open up the tender and could not do it. So I'm assuming the decoder might be in here. So that's my word on that, I guess. Oh, hello. It's fitted with the NCE decoder. So this is what it's fitted with. Okay. I may have seen this before, but I've never took a deep look into it. Yeah, I guess this is what it's really fitted with. So, I'm going to put all this stuff back, and let me get the locomotive and tender together, and we will see the performance. Alright. Let's do it. Alright, there it is on track, looking absolutely sharp. I do love that image, by the way, that looks cool. But yeah, the Pennsylvania J1s, looks like it derailed right here slightly. There we go. So the Pennsylvania J1s were a class of 210 Ford Texas type locomotives. Were built by the Juniata shops from 1942 to 1943, I believe. And it was during World War II when Pennsylvania Railroad really needed some heavy freight haulers to haul some heavier freight trains up steeper grades and stuff like that. Unfortunately, the Pennsylvania Railroad could not just build a locomotive from the rails up. The War Production Board denied it, and so there was another option that they had to choose. Borrow another locomotive from another railroad, and that's what they did. So they had two options that they've chosen. Not sure if they've chosen them entirely, but I'm going to assume they chose those engines for now. They've chosen a Norfolk and Western Class A and a Chesapeake and Ohio T1 to prove which one was the better performer. And it turned out the T1 was the overall superior engine, and eventually 125 of these guys were built. So, really fascinating history the J1 has. I'd love to get a C&O T1 to compare with this. Well, not compare, you know. This is pretty much the Chesapeake and Ohio T1 in Pennsylvania's own design, pretty much. So there's a J1 from a good distance. We are going to test out the performance. The decoder, or default address, is set to 3, because once these things have sound, not only can you program the decoder, you also have to program the CVs of the sound, if that makes any sense. I don't know too much about that, so I guess it's best to have everything stay at default 3. And you notice I have put the default address on 3, the sound hasn't even come on, but it moves. Looks like the performance ain't too bad there. I said the performance was terrible because, well, it was really stuttery at slow speeds and the light's not coming on, because for whatever reason, when I wanted to make this DC, I took the boiler front off, which I probably wasn't supposed to, and for whatever reason, the light doesn't work anymore. It's probably my fault, but hey, you know, that was on me. So, yeah. Let's see what slow speed can do. Okay, that ain't bad. Well, just stop right there. Yeah. Did it derail? Yes, it did. The front truck derailed. How convenient. So I don't know how well it's noticeable on camera, but it is actually a pretty stuttery. You may not notice a thing, but I can definitely see it in this locomotive. Let me zoom in a little bit. Alright, I'll take the camera off the tripod in a minute, so... Might have to get a better shot at that since it's out of focus. One second. Alright, here it comes. On the camera it does look pretty smooth, but from the flesh it is pretty jerky. So... yeah. Tender light works, oddly enough. Oh, I think you can definitely see it now. See how bad that was? I guess it was on the curves that did it. Of course, the tender derailed. Yeah, you can definitely see it. So, for whatever reason, the previous owner didn't take good care of this thing. I don't know what, but... yeah. And it doesn't even have sound, like I said. It does, but... yeah, I could press any button I can think of. Watch. Bell, nothing. Whistle, nothing. Coupler, nothing. 4, nothing. 5, 6, 7. I can even press A. Still no sound. Yes. It's utter crap. It's really utter crap. At least the decoration on this is pretty nice though. Because like I said, I do love the Pennsylvania J1 a lot. It's probably my second favorite locomotive amongst the S2 turbine. So, let's take this thing around for a lap. Put it at a high speed. I don't know how fast these things went in real life, so I doubt that's very realistic. Now at least it's more smoother at that speed. When I would run this on my Bachmann Easy Command controller, it would always sort of cut out. Well, I don't know what it would do, but it would reset my controller. I never ran this thing very much because of that. So yeah. Alright, I shouldn't be doing this, but you can see the J1 from the distance, and I have my DC controller hooked up. Remember when I said I couldn't put sound or have sound in my DCC controller? Listen to this. See? It's going backwards now. No matter which direction I put it. Derailed. Yeah, I don't really recommend you do this at all, but I just wanted to show you guys what this thing can actually do on DC. So, no matter what I do, now it's going forwards. Oh, now it's going backwards. And I didn't even do anything. Yeah, you shouldn't really do that, but I just thought I'd point that out. Whatever's wrong with this thing, I don't know, but it's probably meant to run on DCC, since it's obviously DCC fitted by the previous owner, not me. So, yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. And I just wanted to at least prove to you that this thing does have sound. I don't know what's going on with it with my DCC controller, but yeah, and I ran it on analog, which I shouldn't do. So there's that. Now you know. So yeah, that's the unboxing of the Pennsylvania Railroad J1. If there's any of you out there that knows how to get the tender open or tender off the chassis, I would love for you to hook me up, because I really want to de-chip this thing pretty much. And if it performs better that way, so be it. I guess I might have to really stick to it on permanent DC. So yeah, that's it for this video. Sorry I didn't make it pull a train. I don't know why, but yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, guys. Well done for making it to the end. It's actually the next day, or the next night rather, because it's January 30th, and it's about 11:18, so I filmed the video yesterday, and I did have a couple problems I ran into with the J1. First things first, shortly after I filmed the video, I did try to reset everything back to its factory settings, but I don't know what I did wrong, and eventually the locomotive just would not move. A few hours ago, well I think it was like 2 or 3 hours ago maybe, I did reset it back to its factory settings. I probably just said that, but this time I actually did. However, I could not get the locomotive to move for whatever reason. I have no idea. So I took the decoder out of this thing, and I'll show you that right now. Give me a second. I do apologize if it's out of focus. But there is the J1 right here, and here is the decoder that it came with. This was fitted by the previous owner. It's a NCE decoder. I'm pretty sure these are really good decoders, but when I tried to reset everything to its factory settings, apparently it will not run anymore. I even tried it on a different locomotive. For whatever reason, it does not run. I'm pretty sure that was my fault. So, yeah, I don't know about this decoder anymore. So, there's that. So yeah, I thought I'd let you guys know about that. And, listen to this. If I remember to turn the controller on. Yes, I got the sound to work. And hopefully I'll put it in. I did film a small demo of me playing the sounds through my phone, through my DCC controller, but I could not get the engine to move like I said, so hopefully I'll edit it in. Here's the demo. So that was a demo that you just heard, and now let's take this thing for a spin. You won't hear the bell and whistle from this thing because I'm not running this on analog, because I've now put the blanking chip back in, although I'm pretty sure, or I hope I chose the blanking chip that was from Broadway Limited themselves. The chip does say Broadway Limited, so I'm at least hoping it's a blanking chip, and my god, does this thing have a momentum. Here's the controller. I'll turn it up to 50, let's say. That's 12 volts. The wheels are just slightly turning. There it goes. It does slow down on curves. I have no idea why. Oh, let's stop it. Bring it back. Yeah, when it hits straight, it speeds up. And I may notice, or you may notice, that it's just a little bit smoother, or I don't know if it's just me, but I did replace one of the wheels. I don't know if one of the wheels was old enough and it was causing a problem. I don't know, but I replaced one of the wheels, and apparently the performance is slightly better. I can't promise it does. But yeah, thanks for making it to the end. Yeah, I don't know if you'll see this thing pull a train, because it's late and this thing's pretty loud, and I can't mute it, so yeah. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.